No, that guy is special.
How do you think you found success?
What's some good like YouTube tips?
How did you go from even just making that decision to hire one person?
How do you find somebody that you're like, no, that guy is special?
Because
like I'm special.
the big things are you coachable? Do you see the value? And like, do you believe in what I believe in? Like, those are like the three things where if someone has those traits, and are you obsessive, those 4 traits, then usually in the long run, you'll work out.
So why did you stay in this town, and how do you think you found success staying here?
Honestly, it really was easier to just stay here. You know, as I started making the videos bigger and bigger and hiring people, and I got warehouses and studios, like you get so anchored down, like, well, you're just gonna relocate all your employees to LA and buy a studio space there that costs 10 times more. Why? You know what I mean? Like, what are the negatives of being in a small town? I would argue with the internet and things like Zoom, where you can talk to everyone and we're so interconnected, like there really is no need to pay 12% more tax because of, what is it, state tax in California, and then on top of that pay like 3 to 5 times more for rent and all this other stuff. It's almost silly to be there.
What's the big, what's some good like YouTube tips? I heard you say one earlier. What was it? 10% of people with the thumbnail?
10% of people with the thumbnail.
Or like only
No,
10%
you
of
said
people
100 million.
watch your video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, click through rate.
90%
Yeah, exactly.
are just scrolling.
Exactly, yeah, because you probably have like, yours is probably like 5 to 7%, so it's even more. Like, so if this episode gets 10 million views, that means like 200 million people saw the thumbnail. Which is crazy. And so again, it comes back to like, you really just have to make sure when people fucking click your videos, they love it. That's why we're able to get so many views, because we've consistently put out, obviously I'm biased, but great videos over a long term where people are just conditioned to see a MrBeast video, they click. Oh, MrBeast, click, MrBeast, click. And they'll just do it. And every time they're not let down, so they keep doing it. And where a lot of people fall off is like, they break that trust by having one bad video. And then like, oh, every other video is kind of eh. And then you like, when your video is recommended to them, it leaves it up in the air. They're like, well, is this one of those ones where it's kind of shit, or is it one of the ones where we put in effort? I don't know. But this guy always makes great videos. I'll just watch them instead, right? And so that's what happens. Like, again, if this gets 10 million views, 200 million people are gonna have seen it on YouTube, and 190
just didn't click on it.
Yeah, they're gonna click on a different one.
At what point did you start investing into the videos at a different scale?
Great question. Literally put on me the entire time. When I used to make like $1 a day, I saved up for months and I bought a microphone, way worse than this microphone. And then I saved up for like half a year and I bought a computer. I the whole time I was like recording on my iPhone. So I was recording and editing on my iPhone when I first started, and then I got a microphone you can plug in, then I got a computer to edit on. And then after like 2 years of just filming on my phone, I had 100,000+ subscribers. But I still didn't have a camera because those things cost like $1,000. Or I was stupid. I didn't realize you could buy like a G7X for $400. So then I bought a camera. And after that, I bought monitors for my computer. And I just kept going and reinvesting. And then I tipped pizza delivery people $100. And then I tipped a homeless man 10 grand. And then, you know, gave away cars, gave away houses. And last hand, take hand off $1 million keeps it. And basically the entire time. So like for the last like 8 or 9 years, like every dollar I've made, I just spent it the next month on content. And I just did that every single month, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and here we are.
And how sure are you of every little piece? I know you're particular, but like once you're in the edit, how confident are you like, oh, this intro has to be like this? Or are you still kind of doing gambles where you're like, I'm not really sure?
It's weird. What my threshold has always been, do I find it entertaining and do I watch it? This is gonna sound dumb, but I've just spent so many years just studying what does well. And I've seen so many hundreds of thousands of videos probably at this point, because I don't watch movies and didn't even listen to music till I was like fucking 20 years old. I would just obsess, study retention charts. You know, we'd scrape a million videos, see where the dip is. Like I know everything, like if you pee, like how it hurts retention, if you sneeze, like all that kind of stuff. And so I've just like, my brain has just been programmed to like just know. I don't know. It just comes secondhand. Like I can just tell you, no, retention's gonna drop there.
If we should probably.
Yeah, peeing hurts retention. It's a turnoff for some
people. Just don't like to hear it.
Well, just in some cultures, it's not as accepted as America.
That makes yeah. You're saying that like it's weird.
Sneezing, it's just like it doesn't progress the story. It's kind of like anything where like the story comes to a halt without a reason, just kind of hurts retention. So, anyway, like all those things just are second nature to me at this point. Yeah. So I just watch a video, and I don't know, my brain just goes. Alert, alert, and then I just pause it and I'm like, something was wrong here, just fix it.
Important was that for you to develop a community online of
Of fans?
Of friends.
Friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
beyond
other
important.
YouTubers.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just where you just, so like, imagine a world where it's just you working solo and you work 12 hours a day every day for like a year. And you're just grinding, you make a mistake, you learn from it, you grind, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and you do that for like a year. And then imagine a different world where you have 4 friends who are also equally grinding in something similar. Friend number 1 makes a mistake on Friday. He teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake the next week, teaches everyone. And then like you're all learning from each other's mistakes. You're all constantly studying 24/7 and downloading each other. Like after a year, you're like 2 years ahead of the guy who was just solo. It really does make a difference, especially like my friend group when I was like, I met a bunch of people when I had 10,000 subscribers and we all like, we agreed not to drink, we didn't do drugs, like we didn't date, we didn't do anything. We just literally obsessed from the time we woke up to the time we went to bed. That's literally all we did. It's wild. Like I've told this story before, but for people who didn't listen to our other podcasts, like one day I literally got up and we had an 18-hour Skype call and then I went to bed and that's all I did. And we were just tearing apart YouTube videos, studying trends and stuff like that. I don't even know how I got food. Like pretty sure I was just ordering food so I didn't even have to leave my house so we could keep working. Like it was that level of obsession. It was just dumb. It was so unhealthy.
Do you still talk to some of those people?
Oh, I talked to all of them. Well, not all of them. I talked to most of them.
How did you go from even just making that decision to hire one person?
It was brutally hard for me, man. The first one was just an editor, and even then it's like, because I'm so particular on how I wanted it. And I also didn't have an office or anything when I first started. So I just set up a computer in my room and he would come over and edit the videos after I finished and I would just watch him edit. And then I would just be like, why'd you cut that? Why did you cut this?
That's every editor's dream, is to have someone sit there and
a
watch.
nightmare.
I know. But I was like, well, every YouTuber says it. It's like, no one will ever be able to replicate my style. I gotta edit it. But newsflash, someone can. It's actually not as difficult as you think. But back then, I'm a teenager. I didn't understand that. At the start, it was just a lot of like micromanaging like that. But even then, it still freed up so much time because I just kind of got to the point where I was like, I can't stand editing. I had edited probably like 1,000+ videos in my life at that point between that channel and other things I had done. I was just like, I just don't want to do this. I just want to make videos. And so that first one, and then I just was like, oh, why don't I I think I did a video where we like smashed 4,000 plates, like dropped them to see how they'd break. And it's like, well, why don't I hire just someone to help me pick up these plates and, hire someone to help with this. And then it just, I started with like 2 or 3 people and then every month I just hired someone else as the videos got bigger. And here we are 4 years later.
Yeah.
But if you really do want to be the best you can possibly be the biggest YouTuber, you should look at hiring as a way to free up your time so you can do more important things and even then and hyper optimize every little minute. And anything that isn't work, you should outsource to someone else so you can recharge so you can work again. You know what I mean? $1 million an episode to like just go give away money to people.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, no. And it's like, I spend that on most of my YouTube videos at this point. And I know it would like kill it for them. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just want to be a YouTuber. I don't really care to do that type of stuff. But it's always fun to be like, hey, Netflix, how much would you pay me? If I'm talking to this camera and you're not cutting it for too long, that's boring. You'll lose retention. But if I talk and you cut to that angle while I'm talking and cut back, and it helps it. And it's not bad to be obsessed. Like if people aren't clicking off, that means they're entertained. So I'm hyper obsessed with just making sure people actually like what they're watching.
Yeah.
I think the thing is